You currently locked in a D Porch podcast. It's your boy, B Jones, aka Bolo, and you know when I'm pulling up to the porch. I can't pull up without my dog.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Big Smitty, aka D Nice. And you heard my guy Bolo just said, this is the porch. Welcome. What's going on, my guy? How you doing?
You know what? Blessed, highly favored. I'm 10 toes, man. Hey, look, I got to say this, though. So, for the people who don't know, new listeners, old listeners, I'm giving you a call out of Indy right now. We're expecting 5 to 7 inches of snow soon. And you would think we were in Atlanta, Texas, the way the city is shutting down right now. It's wild. It's wild. But we getting ready. We're going to be cool. So I can't complain. I enjoy the snow, actually. It's a sign of peace for me because it keeps people out the way from doing dumb stuff. Obviously, still people, on the road and stuff, but hopefully everybody stays safe. But it's just wild how in the Midwest we prepare for 5 to 7 inches like we about to get 15 or so. So it's crazy.
I mean, 5 to 7 ain't nothing to play with, but I understand what you're saying, though. It's like you've been in the Midwest your whole life. I've been in the majority of my life. So, like, 5 inches is like a regular old Tuesday, in the Midwest. So, I definitely think. But I mean, y'all be safe, though. Yeah.
But the sunny side of LA, though, y'all ain't getting no snow. You ain't got the same problems we got. What's life like over there, bro?
It ain't been snowing out here in LA, but it has been raining a lot in the last couple of weeks, and it's been cold for LA. Again, like just because the weather says 55 degrees or 60 degrees, that doesn't mean that it feels like 60 would feel like Indiana or Chicago. Like, you gotta understand that we out here by the water, the Pacific Ocean.
Yes,
like, so when that wind hits, like 55 is it hit different out here. So it's been a little chilly, but the sun has returned to LA. So I'm excied about that. And I'm even more excited about this episode today, my guy. We got a special guest today, man. You put me on game to this guy right here, Bolo. I can't lie.
Hey, man, and I just can't help but just like I'm about to start laughing right now. Just when I seen the videos, bro, and I sent you the videos, I was like, bro, we got to get this dude on the porch, man. Like, I was showing my wife his videos when I first seen them. I'm like, this dude do not miss. It's crazy.
Wow.
I don't think that you want to know what I know. I don't think that you want to know who you're really fucking with.
Are you screwing with me? Huh? You trying to fuck with my head?
No, I'll blow English.
Now blowing glass. See if you understand this, motherfucker. Understand it. Let me get some of that. Let me get some of that. Man, come on, man. Get back, man. Kick back. I got this. Come on, let me get some of that. Come on, man. That shit look too good, man. You gotta let me get some of that. This motherfucker shot at me.
Fuck you, you little Richard-looking motherfucker.
Nigga say, hold on.
That's right, you look like Little Richard, you bitch.
You know what? I'm gonna let you get some. Get some. Let me get some.
Shit.
Make you talk.
Let me talk.
Son of a bitch. What about that? What's that? What's that? What's that? Huh?
Let's hear it. Live on news. Channel 6. Reporting live.
Let's hear it, motherfucker.
I'll tell you everything.
Get a pen.
Reporting live.
We're on your side!
It's hilarious, man. And without further ado, man, it's time to introduce our special guest to the porch today. He's a comedian, IG influencer, an actor. He's one of the funniest people on the internet right now, man. The one and only Javon Jefferson. Welcome to the porch.
All right, welcome. Appreciate you guys having me. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. How you feeling right now, man? How are you doing?
I'm feeling good, man. Can't complain, man. I'm staying busy. I'm trying to. It's been a good start to the new year, and I'm trying to keep that momentum going.
Yep. That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about, man. So before we dive into your career, man, and your journey and learn more about you, we're going to switch things up a little bit, man. We got to hit you with the Porch News, man. The Porch News is just a segment. We bring in some of the hottest topics that we've seen on the internet or things that are brought to us, and we just give our taste on. So, Bolo, I'm going to have you set it up like you do so lovely, and let's dive into it, my guy.
Yes, sir. So in Porch News, feel free to chime in too. So Porch, time to get into this. Young Miami from the City Girls mentioned in her last episode of Carisha Please that she enjoys a golden shower. So apparently it's common amongst most people, and other people chimed in and said that they also enjoy golden showers. So got to hear from y'all first, and obviously the Porch too. Do y'all want somebody pissing on y'all? Like what's the play in that? Like what's the kinkiness in like having somebody piss on you? Like, give me y'all thought. Well, like, what y'all thinking?
I mean, I'm gonna jump in first. I'll say this to answer your question. Hell no. I personally, to each his own. I don't see the turn on from someone peeing on me. I don't see how that gets me going. But again, I can't judge other people, to each his own. I was reading the comments though, Bolo, and someone made an interesting point. And they said, I don't see the big difference between the golden shower and y'all eating ass. They said at the end of the day, you're still putting your mouth or whatever in someone's private area. You know what I mean? So on one end, you're getting pissed on you. On the other end is where someone takes a shit. So I don't know. To each his own. Maybe I thought it was an interesting point, but to answer your question, it ain't for me. But hey, man, to each his own, man. What do y'all think?
It ain't for me. Me personally, I'm not doing either one. Okay. But as far as eating ass, I mean, from what people tell me, there are nerves. There's nerves in that area. Okay. You know, where people, you know, it could be enjoyable, but as far as like the golden shower shit, I don't know what you get out of that. All right, because it's hot, it's sticky,
it's stinky.
You don't smell at the end. Like me, no, I'm cool. I'm cool.
Like, especially if your diet ain't correct. Like, y'all didn't have some long nights where maybe y'all didn't drink no water, or maybe y'all ain't been eating healthy, or maybe you had some sugar smacks. If y'all know if anybody know with the cereal smacks, every time you eat it, you gonna smell it in your pee. All right, so just imagine somebody pissing on you that ain't just like at the top notch of healthy. Like, I don't want nobody pissing on me regardless. But if somebody were to piss on me, like, you have to be like the most in shape where you're pissing water. Like, at that point, like,
top notch piss
up there.
Top notch piss. You gotta be A1.
But it's like maybe I need to get schooled on that side of kinkiness though. Like, so if a guy is having sex with a girl, right, he just pulls his thing out, boom, and then he just starts pissing, or is it like a form of like ejaculation, like when he finished and he about to nut on her, you know what I'm saying? Instead of him nutting on her, he just gonna pee on her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see that comparison, but I'm like, damn. So like, you got to change your bed, like you got to change your sheets anyway. But like, piss is different though. It's like
you definitely got a plan for the golden shower. Like, you got to know, hey, y'all, in 2 weeks, baby, we're gonna do the golden shower. So you got to eat right for the 2 weeks.
Water,
you got to drink your water, get your electrolytes right.
You got to get ready for it.
You know what I mean?
You got to get ready for it. And I think that takes I don't even know how you get started in that conversation. Like, how do you bring that up? Because you really got to find the one, or you got to turn this bitch out in some sort of way. But to have that conversation, oh, this is what I'm into. How do you start that conversation?
Right. Like which date do you bring this up? You know what I mean?
Right.
How deep in the relationship do you say, hey, baby, listen, this is what I like to do. I like to piss on my women.
A lot of people off. Like, if a girl just come up to me and we dating and we in you know, obviously in a situation, and we start a relationship, and she like one of my things is, you know, I love when men piss on me. So the first thing I'm gonna think is like, damn, like, niggas been pissing on you. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, like I don't even know how to respond. Like, that's probably just gonna throw me all the way off though. Like,
I can't even kiss you no more. I can't even hug right now. Like, what you on?
But to the other point, obviously, I'm always gonna look at both sides, you know, of the yard. You know, to some people, they find it kinky. You know, I was mind blown when so many people chimed in and said that they enjoy it as well. And I know you mentioned something too, Darnell, about like the eating ass part. I think it's different. Like, it ain't like somebody shitting on you. You know what I'm saying? If a girl get out the shower and her ass, you know, is clean, whatever, I feel like that ain't like somebody really like pissing on you. Like, you can't get rid of like somebody actually just pissing on you. Like,
I agree, Bolo, but be real. Is an ass ever 100% clean? Yes or no?
I mean, I think no, because it's ass. As soon as the booty cheeks close together, they automatically like
start sweating a little bit.
Automatically dirty. They automatically dirty.
But But it's cleaner. It's cleaner than somebody pissing on you. Like even like the cleanest piss is still piss though.
I heard baby piss is actually good for your skin. I was told that. Is that true?
I did hear that. Back in the day, they used to take the baby's diapers and just wipe it. You know what I mean? When they had the baby acne and stuff.
Yeah, rub it in your face.
Shit for real. Yeah,
because that's pure piss though. You know what I mean? Like a baby ain't. They just fresh in this world. They ain't had no Hennessy yet. No vodka, nothing. They just that's good.
Talking about Hennessy. That is pure, especially if they drinking baby milk. Like
come on now,
milk, it's in the pure form.
Natural.
Wow, that's
our piss nasty because we didn't have fried chicken. We didn't have the Hennessy, the Crown,
Hennessy.
I had some hot Doritos earlier. Like we didn't have so much just bad stuff in us. Yeah.
God damn, all that fructose corn syrup, all that stuff. But before we move forward, though, you know what? The craziest shit though is like they gave R. Kelly all that trouble about him pissing on girls, and one of the city girls finally say she enjoyed getting pissed on, and I feel like the world just accepts it. But you know, obviously R. Kelly pissed on somebody, and they was on his head
because he's R. Kelly.
I mean, obviously,
Kelly. Like when you
that's
big,
very true. Very true.
When you that big, man, you under the spotlight, you know. And I feel like when you're the first to go through shit, you got to go through like the bullshit first before it's accepted.
Facts.
You know, you're the first to ever do something, especially in that kind of realm. You know, you got to look at the climate of the world, where you are, where you're positioned in life, and pissing on people ain't normal. All right, it ain't normal. Okay, like you just let people piss on you, like.
Why you getting mad, Bolo? That shit ain't normal.
Like that shit ain't normal. Like
it ain't normal.
No, for real.
I love
so
it.
Anyway, we I mean, happy to see that the world is, you know, obviously continuing to evolve, and we're accepting, you know, more and more things that just involve, you know, our, you know, inner selves. So teach his own. So
teach his own, man.
Right.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
So, so in other Porch news, obviously a more serious topic though, but want to get everybody's opinion. Talk about HBCUs real quick. So, Ed Reed obviously was going to be Bethune-Cookman head coach, but the AD and the administration did not make good on his contract, according to Ed Reed. And Ed Reed also went ahead and made a video stating that the university was forcing him out. So obviously the internet blew up about it. You know, I think a lot of people who are on the HBCU side were like sticking with HBCUs and, you know, what their opinions was on the matter. And then obviously people who love Ed Reed and the situation and want, you know, HBCUs to be better, we're on Ed Reed's side. And, you know, to give you guys full context, Ed Reed did make a video, you know, going crazy and calling some people out about some things not being done properly or the lack thereof of resources. Obviously, I think he could have went into the situation a little bit more professionally, but in my opinion, I don't think it was cause for him to be removed from the program, because he did have a lot of things, you know, set up for that school to start seeing success. But what do y'all think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'll chime in, man. I think it was unfortunate. You have a Hall of Famer, one of the best players we've ever seen, ever, like in any sport. I mean, you talk about a great leader, someone who's passionate. And this is a good pillar of the sports world and Black community. You know, I mean, you can see the passion in his voice. He did not want to leave the school. You know, he was very disappointed. He felt like he disappointed and kind of let down the kids at Bethune-Cookman. And it's a shame that those kids aren't able to learn from one of the greats, and not only as athletes, but as young men. You know what I'm saying? And again, he could have gone about it a better way instead of making a video and kind of calling out the school. You know, again, we all got jobs here. I wouldn't make a video right now talking bad about Fox and expect them to just be happy about it. But at the same time, though, they could have provided a better situation for him. They knew he was coming in. You can't have his office cleaned up and ready. This is Ed Reed. At the end of the day, everybody ain't treated the same. Everybody ain't treated equally. Like if you got certain a level of a name, a person coming to your school, your job, whatever, you got to lay out the red carpet. You know what I'm saying? And he got to worry about a dirty office. The campus is dirty. He has his kids out there cleaning up the campus his first week there. It's just like, I think it was wrong. It was some wrongdoing on both ends, but I think the school definitely overreacted.
Absolutely.
No, for sure. And I echo everything you just said. And I definitely hope that he gets, and I think he will get another shot, you know, to coach, you know, whether it be at an HBCU or, you know, a different school. But like I said, I would just to piggyback off your point, you know, you're talking about one of the all-time greats, you know, and a pillar in the NFL world, you know, and in our community, you know. So anytime, you know, we see a Black man or a Black woman or anybody from our community be in that position where they can, you know, help and, mentor and lead men or lead women. We always want to root for him. But, he's a passionate person. You see that from the way he plays, to the way he talks, to the way he carries himself as a man. And, sometimes that isn't expressed in the best way, but we've all been there. I think once we're hurt or we feel some kind of way, we automatically just let our emotions sometimes get the best of us. And I don't agree, with him, posting the video, and I think there's better ways to go about it. But it was an unfortunate, thing that happened all the way around. And I hope it, he can definitely find a different position where he gets what he wants, the school gets what they want. That way everybody succeeds.
Yep, I agree. I think you said that perfectly, man. And shout out to Ed Reed, man. And I'm so shout out to Coach Prom for even calling in and checking on his boy. I know they're like it's kind of like a younger brother to him, and they've been close for a while. I think they didn't Prom play with Ed Reed for a hot second.
They played.
With
the
Ravens.
They played in the 2000s. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I mean, former teammates. You know what I mean. So I definitely love to see him looking out, and listen, God works in mysterious ways, and
absolutely,
if was meant for you, will be for you. So if the opportunity wasn't the right one, then it wasn't meant for you. Another one will come. So
yeah, absolutely.
Now go ahead, Bolo.
No, go ahead, bro.
Now, the last thing I was saying, I hope I hope they're able to still get a really good coach. Because at the end of the day, it's about the kids. Whatever we feel about the athletic director and how they handle it at the school, all that's kind of irrelevant. It's about the kids, and you want to make sure you're putting them in the best position to succeed on and off the field. So whoever they bring in, hope it's someone who actually cares about the kids.
And that's my biggest thing, man. Especially when you think about HBCUs, like since the beginning of time, like they have been underfunded and they have lacked a lot of resources in areas. So to put a name into the school that will bring people to the school alone will continue to help and bring resources to that university, right? So obviously, like I said, I do agree with you guys as far as like he could have took a different approach about, making the video, but sometimes that's what's needed to get the pen moving in the right direction. There's a lot of times where, since the beginning of time, this school has had, bad resources, and the dorms has been bad, and like, all those type of things have been bad. And, I'm not calling anybody out, but for certain situations when schools are like that with lack of resources, some people pockets are getting a little heavier than most in certain situations, right? So I'm not saying that that's happening specifically there, but it's happening in a lot of areas. So when the dollars are being allocated certain places and then you don't really see where the dollars are going, then you got to start asking questions. So I feel like, Ed Reed got to that point where he started to ask questions like, hey, like, why don't we have the small things done, like janitors and people cleaning the areas, things that you're supposed to have. I get that you guys don't have enough money, but the base foundation of anything is like having at least a janitorial staff to keep things neat and in order. So I just think, we got to continue to stick together, as far as our people, you know what I mean? I think we do have like this crab barrel mentality where, okay, he calling me out. Oh, so he's done. It's a wrap. It's a pissing contest now. It's more of a pride thing. So if we get over that side of things, man, and we get to be able to just come together and, talk about our disagreements and then move forward collectively as a unit, we'll be better. And I think HBCUs will continue to take that next step to being able to compete, with the Power Fives and stuff like that. And, I honestly think, and people may hate me for this, but I think HBCUs took a step back on the athletic side as far as football when it comes to like recruits and stuff, just because of how that situation was handled. Like, this guy Ed Reed brung so many people into the school as far as students and transfers and stuff like that, and coaches and all that. And for them to just say like, whatever, like, we forget you, we're gone, we'll find somebody else. It's just like a big slap in the face to them. So you got a program that went 2-9 the last 2 years, and you got a coach who's very passionate, who knows the game. He's going to bring resources, more coaches, probably NFL scouts, just like Dion did, to give them that notoriety. And you just say, forget it. It's just like you're kind of, kicking all the players in the face too, and saying like, fuck the program. So that's kind of my opinion on it.
Drop the mic. I ain't got nothing to add to that.
Yeah, we covered that.
Yeah,
we did that. Y'all, I love Ed Reed, my favorite player, man. So when I heard about it, man, I was upset. I was mad. Ed Reed was, in his fields and stuff too. So I was like, damn, it had me salty. So Shout out to Ari. Hopefully, he fall into something, positive. Hopefully, it's HBCU because I'm rooting for HBCUs. I think they need all of the notoriety, the attention to that next point. That's the only way we gonna, HBCUs are gonna be able to compete with, the bigger schools if we continue to get people with those names in the door. So hopefully, he falls in another HBCU. We'll see.
Yeah, we shall see, man. We shall see. But man, that's it for the Porch News, man. I think it's time to learn more about our special guest, man. So let's just dive into you, man. So if someone were to ask, like, who is Javon Jefferson? What would you say? What would be your response to that question?
Who is Javon Jefferson? I mean, at first I would say, he's a Black man. He's a son. He's a brother. He's a friend. I ain't got no kids yet, so. But honestly, I don't know, man. I'm just a regular dude who just loves to entertain. I love to just make people laugh. Most of the world, knows me as a social media creator, and that's what I enjoy doing. I didn't fall into that on purpose. That was merely an accident. But I would just say, I'm all of those things in one. And I'm in this world now. I'm in this space now where I'm still trying to figure out, who is this persona, and how far do I want to take it? Social media has been a great experience, overall. But it's still something that I'm fairly new to. I'm only 2 years in, going on my 3rd year, with creating content, everything. And, as wonderful as it's also been, just a learning lesson overall, because if you watch any of my videos or any of my content, 99% of the time it's me and it's just me, but if somebody were to ask me who I am, I would say, you know what, I'm a brother, I'm a friend, I'm a son, I'm a social media creator, and I'm just someone trying to make it just like the rest of us.
Facts. So obviously, take us back to the beginning. Obviously, you say you fell into it, right? So what was life growing like for you growing up?
Life growing up, so I come from a single mom, of 3 kids. I was born in Los Angeles, California. My dad was doing this thing in the streets, hustling, not really doing what my mom expected out of him. So she took me and my sister, who she was pregnant with at the time, moved to Washington State. So I grew up in a city called Bellevue, Washington. It was just a small city with me, my mom, my sister, and my grandmother, who played, like that father role. She took over that father role. Growing up, I was into sports, mainly basketball. That was my escape. That was my whole, that was my first love, I would say, was basketball. From select to AAU to high school, played 2 years of community college. But yeah, no, sports was definitely my thing. But I've always had this passion for movies, just watching movies, just like, a lot of us, just watching movies and watching these TV shows. But acting was never something I really considered. And maybe it was just because it was foreign. No one in my family is an actor or a comedian or in entertainment business, as far as, just watching these guys and watching these, incredible people on TV, it's still something that's so far away, even right there. So, but sports, you pick up a ball, you can go around the world with that, and that's what all my friends were doing. So, I found my calling at first with basketball, and I just ran with it, until I couldn't do it anymore, or something else came along.
Got you.
What you play on the court? What position you play on the court?
Oh, I was a guard. Okay, my nickname was Buckets. Okay,
you wasn't getting buckets. You wasn't dropping buckets. Don't lie to us.
I was getting buckets. Okay, I was a shooter. When I needed to, I was more of a facilitator, but I can also shoot and I can also score. So I was a 2 guard.
Okay. Running the 2.
Making plays, Bolo. He's out there hooping.
I was trying. Okay. I was trying.
Yeah, man.
Rocks with it.
I love it, man. And you said, like, you grew up, always having that love for movies, man. And I'm a movie guy as well, man. I love watching a good movie. So I guess just talk about that transition. Like, once basketball officially ended, you said it kind of took you as far as it was going to take you. At what point were you just kind of like, okay, yeah, man, like this is what I want to do, or you know what I mean? Like, was there a window of time where you kind of were confused on what you wanted to do?
So I mean, to answer that, I got to go back to like high school. So my senior year, and I guess this is, you know, a big part of my story and just, you know, where I am now is, you know, I was a 5th-year senior. You know, I didn't really handle what I needed to do in the classroom. You know, I fucked around. School really wasn't my thing. But I was a 5th-year senior. So I didn't graduate with all my friends and stuff like that. You know, there was no basketball scholarships. In high school, I was a 2-sport athlete. So I had basketball and then I tried football, you know. So there was no scholarships coming in. Okay. And then I decided, you know what, if sports isn't going to work out, let's see what the military is looking like. But I got medically disqualified from that. And, you know, military is just on a whole nother level as far as their requirements, you know, and I can understand why, but the military didn't work out. So I had this from 2017 to 19 to 20, there was this gap where I was just like doing the same thing, which was just working, you know, and then going to community college, you know, but I didn't know what I wanted to do, you know, long term. So I just continued working and, you know, just making money, taking care of the family, but not knowing what I really wanted to do. But I was still going to school. So we go into 2017 where I'm doing my 5th year, you know, but I'm doing college level classes. I'm doing this program called Running Start. And that's how I finished my 5th year. I ultimately graduate high school, you know, and then I go to community college and something just clicked. And I think it goes back to that summer of 2018, where, like I told you guys, I come from a single mom. And life at that point was just overwhelming. You know, when you don't know what you want to do, when you feel lost, it gets overwhelming. So I decided to take a trip down to California to like meet my dad, my brothers and sisters, my aunts, my uncles, just to get away from everything. So I took that trip, met everybody, connected with my brothers and sisters for the first time, came home, and everything kind of just changed. You know, I was doing better in school. I was on the honor roll, dean's list, and then I started to apply to universities. So I got into every university that I applied to, which included the University of Washington, where I ultimately went, USC, Oregon, Arizona State, Colorado. I decided to go to University of Washington just because it was close to home, and it was, you know, my top school just growing up. And then that's how it happened as far as school. Social media, I never had an interest in social media, like at all. You know, if you look at me and you're around me before 2020, I wasn't posting pictures. I didn't really care about the likes. I didn't, you know, it wasn't me. You know, I was just, you know, just in my own little world. And then the pandemic happened. So pandemic happened and we were all in lockdown, you know, just in the house. I continued to work, and y'all know how the pandemic, you know, just being in the house. But my friend Tyron, he was like, yo, you should try TikTok. And I was like, what the hell is TikTok? I didn't know what that was.
Right.
Honest to God, I didn't know what that was. And he was like, bro, you would be really good at it. And I was like, all right, I'll test it out. You know, I didn't know what the hashtags were. I didn't know anything about no goddamn algorithm. You know, he just said, choose something that feels natural to you and run with it. So I decided to just do comedy, you know. And for the first year, it wasn't like movie skits. It was just like random comedy trends, you know, but I would just incorporate my own style. I didn't get the whole movie skit thing until like a year and a half into it. You know, I think the video that really like blew up for me and was like, yo, I can really do this. This is hella fun, was my Friday After Next scene when I'm in the kitchen and it's Uncle Elroy and Willie, and he's making potato salad and stuff. That was the first time where I really like dressed up and like really got into character. And I was like, oh shit, this is actually, okay, this is dope. And then from there, it just became a consistent thing.
Dang,
that's fucking wild.
I love to hear that, Bolo, because like he low key. I mean, you're still damn near new at this. I mean,
in
overall,
the
and
in the
he's
beginning
booming.
stages, and it's booming.
I
Like,
appreciate that.
and I think I got put on. I think when you started more of the movie sides and like the TV shows, when you start to do those, and I was like, man, this dude good, man. So I guess talk to us about that. Like, you know, obviously you say you love movies, right? And I've honestly tried to do like what you've done, but never got to a point where I can like mirror like what they say and like do the actual like physical like movements and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like
he has a spot on.
Yeah, like spot on. Like, what got you to that point to where like you are almost perfect when you're starting to do like the voiceovers and like the hand gestures and like the body movements and stuff?
Yeah,
the mannerisms.
No. Because like I said, like before then, I always saw other creators do movie scenes, do the whole movie skits. So I've seen it on TikTok, and everybody has their own style. Everybody has their own process. And for me, I don't know why I'm not one of those people, but and I'm glad I'm not, but there's a lot of gatekeepers on social media. You know, there's a lot of people who you don't want to help you, you know, who act like they're bigger than life and be like, nah, I can't. So for me, it was a lot of trial and error, like a lot of just figuring out, you know, how do I manage my time? How do I get the angles right? You know, I can't get the exact fit, but I can get something similar.
Right.
So for me, for like, I want to say the first year, it was just a lot of just trying different things. And I wasn't used to, one of the biggest things, I wasn't used to positioning myself behind the camera. It was always front facing, like it is right now, you know, but then I noticed like, I'm very particular. When I have something, I want to make it flow naturally. So the thing about positioning yourself behind the camera is that you can play multiple characters and it's going to have a fluidity to it. You know, it's going to have natural flow. It's not going to be anything that's awkward. So at first, I would film in TikTok, you know, and if you've ever filmed in TikTok, you know that they have the timer and you can just break up your scenes, you know, and that was just a lot of like changing into different characters. You know, we TikTok, you know, you stop it right here. Okay, you change into Day Day. Stop it right here. You change into Craig. That took a lot of time. So, and that I did that for a full year. So, but over time, I wanted to perfect my whole process, which was now I don't film in TikTok. What I do is I take my computer, I go to the sound on TikTok, and it constantly plays over and over and over. And I film on my actual camera phone, you know, as long as it takes. That way, if I want to do all about the Benjamins, for example, I'm going to get Reggie's scene all in one. Gotcha. It doesn't matter how many times I fuck up, how many takes it's all in one. You can edit the shit later.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'm going to change into Bookham scene and do it all in one. And then I'm going to break up those clips.
Right.
So that's how I do it. And I do it in my camera phone because there's better camera quality.
Yep.
You know, when you take a video and you perform it in TikTok, you have the watermark, and then there's different resolutions to when you want to post it on Instagram. You post it on your own camera phone, it's yours, and there's better camera quality. Yeah.
Point. He dropping game right now.
Dropping game, y'all.
If you tuning in to the Porch, man, and you a content creator, listen to my guy. I'm gonna call him JJ. I don't know if it's your nickname, but I mean, I see it in
I got a lot of nicknames, but yeah, that's one of them.
Well, I'm calling him JJ on the Porch, man. He dropping gems. I hope you taking your notes. You got your notepad ready, man. I love it, bro, because that's one thing and you kind of answered my question before I even had to ask is the process of this, man. Like, I do social media for my job. I mean, we're obviously in the content space as well. And I just know from an editing standpoint, I know that could take hours and hours, and, you know, to really get things done to the exact way that you want, especially someone like you, where you're doing like you're matching the voice to a T. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to literally be locked in. You got to record it right. Make sure it's like one little mistake can mess up the whole video. Thing. So you got to almost be perfect in it.
No, definitely. Like I said, like I was fortunate enough because I saw a lot of people do, you know, what we do. I feel like there's a small community of people who do movie skits. Let's just
right.
I feel like there's a small community who really does it, and everybody has their own process. And I didn't want to be like everybody else. and I don't think I think the only thing that separates me from a lot of other creators is the time that I really put in. So there's this creator, her name's Kaylin Brown, and this girl puts in work, but I'm talking about hair, makeup, just everything. And she was one of my biggest inspirations into, you know what, I gotta give it my best. I gotta give it my all. Whether it doesn't matter how long it takes. Rain, sun, wind, snow, it doesn't matter. But I just wanted to give it my best, whether it comes down to the fit, whether it comes down to the angles, whether it comes down to my timing. And as far as like timing, I love movies so much that all these scenes that I do, I just know by heart. I just know by heart. Like, it's just, I'm fortunate enough to, it's not hard for me to remember lines.
You got some crazy ass memory. Like, I'm trying not to cut you off. I watch a lot of movies, man. I've seen Friday, all the Fridays a million times. And there's scenes that I definitely know by heart, but like, it don't matter how many times I've seen it, I still gotta like,
you gotta hear it to like, get it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you did that perfectly.
No. And I get it. Like, I'll listen to it. And like I said, when I'm listening to the sound, it's playing over and over again. But my biggest, I guess I don't want to say hurdle, but we'll call it that. My biggest hurdle when I'm filming is just making sure the angles are right and making sure I bring that energy. Because when you're constantly doing retake after retake, it's hard to keep that same energy or just go up a level. Because again, these movie scenes that you guys see me in, away from editing, you're talking about a 3, 4, or 5 hour process. Editing by itself is 2 to 3 hours if you want to get it right. And then again, you have to add on the layer that it's just me. It's not like I have a team of people where I can just put them into place and, yada, 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 which I do love working with people, but it has to be the right, setup. But it's by myself. I'm the actor, the director, I'm the camera guy, I'm the editor. Like, it's a lot. So, but yeah, no, it's been fun, and it's been a lot of good feedbacks so far.
That's tough, man. You mentioned something earlier. I wanted to ask you before I forget. You were talking about like it's a small space for like people in your specific side of comedy, right? So I think it's so cool. Now, obviously, social media, it just gives people the different forms of comedy now, which I think is really cool. Talk about like the acceptance from like other people who come from different forms of comedy. Like, obviously, your following is growing as well. Like, has like the stand-up comedians, the people who do like skits and like kind of other stuff, is like, is it more of like a one type of community, or do you think everybody's like separated in their specific areas?
I think because, like comedy, if you know anything about comedy, you know that it's subjective. Everybody, what's funny to you might not be funny to me and vice versa, but that's the beauty of it, is that comedy reaches so many different audiences for so many different reasons. And for me, I want to say that it's been a world of acceptance, because people understand, especially if you do this, people understand, they can look at my video, that really took work. That really put in, like, he really put in work for that, and then when you're in this space where people ask you, like, how do you do this? How do you do that? I don't really go into it, because I'm not doing anything that Darnell can't do. I have my tripod, my iPhone, like everybody else. I just have my own process to it, but as far as the community itself, I think we're all in our own space. We're separate, but we're together. It's almost like hip hop, like, that makes sense. The music is different, but we're all under that umbrella, and my whole goal is, I don't want to just do movie skits. My whole thing is to add. So my whole thing is, eventually I want to do my own skits. I'm constantly writing out my own like materials and what I want to do. But the only disadvantage I have that other people don't have, I don't have a team around me, and people were like, why don't you, I think it's time that you put out original content. I would love to, but I don't want to put out something that I'm not excited about, like, being in this space, being what I've been doing for, 2 years, I understand what I want certain things to look like. I understand how to work with people and put them into place. I know what I'm looking for. I don't want to play every character and, you know, just all the time. I love being behind the camera and putting people up and, you know, just seeing their energy and see them having fun. And it takes a load off when I'm just, you know, I have a small role to play.
Right.
You know? But as far as the community, it's small, but we're all different in our own way. And I think, you know, when you're a serious content creator, there's a level of respect because you know how much work goes into it.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's real, man. That's real. It's like, it's kind of like even as us, you know, as former athletes, Bolo, it's like, even if someone on like you see a player from another team or something, right? You may not know him like that, but you know that, hey, at the end of the day, they play the same game I do. They sweat the same way. He grinded. So even from a distance, it's like, I can respect that. I can respect the type of hustle and grind you're doing. So, you know, bringing it back full circle, even if it's a different form of comedy or whatever the case may be, at the end of the day, we're all putting in a ton of work. So it's just a lot of respect, man. So
definitely.
And one thing I want to ask you too, man, JJ. Are you in California now? Or are you in Washington right now?
I'm in Washington. I go back to Cali every other year, but my home base is Washington and Bellevue. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure. I know you brought up a couple of times. You said you don't have a team. I'm like, man, I got some guys out here in the space from a video standpoint, sound engineer. If you out here in LA, I got people that's ready to work. And
I believe it. I believe it.
So I say, let me know. Ain't number the phone call, my brother.
No, I got you. No, and I appreciate that. And it's crazy because, you know, I get a lot of DMs. You know, people like, let's work, let's collab, and I'm like, I'm always willing to collab with people as long as they give me two things: their time and energy. Everything else I'll take care of. You know, I've always like working with people. My biggest thing is making sure that you're comfortable, you're having fun, and you trust me, you know, and I try to work with people that I have some sort of relationship with, because when you have a platform and it grows and it continues to grow, you have to protect it. You know, you didn't work all this way up just for, you know, for some bullshit, you know, and a lot of people, especially with the internet's hella funny because a lot of people, their intentions might be off. Not everybody wants to work with you for the right reason. Like not everybody follows you for the right reasons. People really out here praying for your downfall, you know? So I try to work with the best people I possibly can, but I'm big on relationships. I'm big on vibe and energy.
That's huge.
I love that. I love that.
Respect that, bro. Never respect that.
So I got a question. So what would you say like was like the hardest scene to do when like you're shooting videos? Because I'm gonna tell you my favorite one, and I was like, man, how the fuck did he do that? You were I think it was a scene from Martin when Martin tires got stolen, and I think Brother Man was outside. It was snowing outside. It was cold, and you was in the car, and then you was outside, and he was in the car, and I'm like, damn, like how's he making this happen? But I was rolling though, because I remember the actual scene on Martin when they stole his tires. Like
and that's the one I was gonna choose. That's the one that that's the one that comes to my mind. Like, what's your longest one? What's the hardest one? Boy, look. And this was before I did that scene, before I had this process figured out. Before it was just quicker, before it was faster. Like I filmed that in TikTok when it was back and forth, changing out of clothes. So I started that scene. It gets dark out here like really fast, but I started that scene at 5 p.m. I didn't finish until midnight. Ooh. And yeah, so you know, and the garage is right there, and you got the car. So when I'm filming Martin, I have my you know, my fit on and everything like that. But it's all about the angles. It's all about the angles and the lighting. You know, that's the biggest thing. So, you know, I have the car door open, the camera's outside, and it's just, again, you really have to position yourself. And that's why I tell people, like, the hardest thing about this is positioning yourself, because you're not seeing what you look like until after you're done. Yeah. Right. And you don't know if you have to take a reshoot or anything until afterwards. And then when I'm filming, you know, Hustle Man scene, I'm taking the car. I mean, not taking the car. I'm taking a tripod of my camera, and it's on the passenger side. And understand, there's inches of snow. So I don't know if I'm going to set my tripod on the passenger seat, or I'm going to dig myself a little spot in the snow and just prop it up there. Right. And I'm roll the windows down, and, you know, on the driver's side and on the windows or on the passenger side, and just go from there. There's a lot of figuring out. You know, the angles are the biggest thing. And then, you know, you have to be able to hear the sound, you know, but it was cold. You talking about a snowy Christmas, below 30, and you just out there in the snow. And then you gotta duck down and get on your knees and just prop your elbow on the car, just do your thing. And that was by far my favorite one that I've ever filmed, because I'm all about the journey, the process of getting there, and the process of editing, because I knew I had a banger. And that's the crazy thing when you in this world, is like, you do it long enough, you understand, like, this is gonna hit. It better hit.
He's like, I can't wait to drop these. They gonna love me in this one. I can't wait to drop this.
But yeah, no, that was the hardest one, but it was also my favorite one. And, you know, I got a lot of feedback on that. And I think because of the feedback and how many people enjoyed that, it's always motivation for me to, you know, do better the next time. It isn't the likes, it isn't the followers, it's people's genuine appreciation for it. Yeah. Like, I recognize you really putting in that work, and that's what helps keep me going.
That's cool,
bro.
That's cool,
man. So something I want to ask you about as well, and you kind of touched on this a little bit as far as like your future goals and what you want to get into and creating like original content. When you think about the big picture, you know, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, whatever, what is like your bigger goal? Do you want to get and become like a full-time actor and be in Hollywood and be in the film, or how do you kind of envision yourself? Like, if everything goes exactly how you want it to be, where does JJ end up at?
At first, at the top of the list, it's becoming a full-time actor. That's number one. But I never want to, you know, box myself. And, you know, even with acting, you know, as far as you guys looking at comedy and stuff, I never want that to be just one-dimensional as well. Like, I want to be a full-time actor. And whether it's comedy, romance, horror, drama, like, I want to test everything, you know, because it's not about the genre for me. It's about being on that set and working with people and telling these stories and just being a part of a community that's like-minded, you know, which is something that I'm still not used to. You know, I don't know what it's like to be in a big space and have a big collab with people who just want to, you know, make people laugh or entertain them in some sort of way. So I would say number one is definitely being a full-time actor. And then I also want to try stand-up. You know, I want to try stand-up. And that's a whole different ball game, because being funny on the camera and being funny in person are two different things. So that's definitely something that I don't take light at all. But just trying it, you know, why not? And then as far as just writing my own material, you know, I look at people like HaHa Davis, you know, Desi Banks, you know, Drewski, all those guys are doing everything, you know, and they're at an exceptional level, you know, and I can definitely see myself in that world, you know. So hopefully in 5-10 years, if everything happened the way I wanted it to, I would just be doing everything under that scope.
I love it.
I mentioned everything, Bolo. He grinded. He grinded. You know me. You know, I'm a hustler. You a hustler. So we love having other hustlers on the porch.
Thanks.
And he said he doing everything. He not putting himself. Listen, y'all, Porch family. Listen, I got to say this to
you. Here we go. Let him know. Let him know.
Say all this, man. Don't put yourself in a box. That's what JJ just said. Don't ever put yourself in a box. You never know what God got in store for you and your future. And you put yourself in a box, you're gonna miss out on your blessings. You put yourself in a box, you're gonna miss out on your blessings. BB, boxing blessings. Boxing blessings, y'all. No box equals more blessings. We in the box is less blessings.
Exactly.
I'm done talking.
Facts.
I'm done talking. Come on now, Bolo. We dropping gems today.
Dropping gems. Dropping gems.
Come on now. Listen, if real quick, if you get a t-shirt and you sell them, all I need is a 5% cut. We good. 5% cut. We good.
That's fair. That's fair.
Come on now. I'm a fair businessman. Go ahead, Bolo. Go ahead.
Oh shit. So what I was gonna say, obviously for the Porch family, man, I've seen scenes that you've done from obviously Martin, Roll Bounce, Friday, like you name it, like you've done it. Like a lot of our classic movies. Like what inspires you to actually shoot a specific scene from a movie?
That's $1 million question right there. So for me, it's just one, I want to make sure I have the right setup. I always want to be in a space where I know I can give it my best. You know, I don't have a list. I know all these movies, like all of them, you know, but I want to be in a position where I can give it my best. If I'm not, it doesn't mean I'm not going to do it, but we're going to save it for later, you know? But what inspires me is just stuff I haven't done or stuff that challenges me, you know, stuff that really, where I can learn a lot about myself as a creator, you know, and there's a lot of classic scenes, you know, we have a tremendous catalog of movies, TV shows that we can pull from, that we love, that are iconic and stuff like that. And I want to do them all, you know, and that's the best part about the space that I'm in as a social media creator, is that there's always going to be movies. There's always going to be TV shows. There's always going to be this and that. And that's why I'm in no rush. You know, I feel like it's an important thing for any sort of content creator, athlete, musician. Once you have a process, you don't allow people to speed up your process. You go at your pace. You go the way you want to do it. You know, you do what you want to do. And when you have your process, it's on you to protect that and take it serious. You know, and that's one thing, like, I get a lot of DMs, and I can understand it, of people saying, you know what, you should do this, you should do that. I don't listen to that, because again, I understand what I want to do and when I want to do it. Not saying, and most people, 99% of the time, most people say or DM me things that I've already done,
right, or
that I'm going to do later. You know, not so, because we're going to get to it all. It just takes time, you know, because again, talking about 3-5 hour processes. There's only some time in the day, especially when you have a job or multiple jobs, or you're going to school. Like, it takes time. You know, people see 30, 60 seconds and think that shit takes minutes. It doesn't. It doesn't. So if you guys want to see me at my best, everything's going to take time.
Patience is a virtue.
Hey, another gem, y'all. Hey, you know how we always end the show? It's like we always say the best you is the best you. And the only way that you are the best you is if you go at your own pace. If you control your own race. Like, it's your race to run. It's your thought process. It's your creativity. It's your energy. It's everything that you're putting into it. And don't let somebody's, you know, couple words throw off what your trail is looking like or what your process is like. So many times we seek validation from other people who opinions don't matter. They don't count. They don't, you know, bleed into what we do. You know, their energy does not, you know, affect what we do. And sometimes we let that overwhelm us. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they, you know, we tip over because, you know, somebody's, you know, overqualified opinion, you know, we think it counts or it matters, but it don't, man. I think, like you said, and that applies to life. Everything that you want to do, that you want to accomplish, don't let nobody put no timeline on it. Don't let nobody say you taking too long. Don't nobody say like you moving too fast. Like, it's your pace, it's your race. Do what you need to do in order for you to get to where you need to go. So
no, definitely. Just to piggyback off that really quick, you know, like, social media, everything is so instant. Everything is instant gratification and stuff like that. But what I tell people all the time is that there's an audience for everybody, regardless of what you're into. Comedy, anime, sports, relationship, talk show, it doesn't matter. There's an audience for everybody. And you can't be discouraged by people who aren't doing things that you're doing. All right. Like, if you want to be a stand-up comedian and, you know, you putting your work out on for the world to see, and you read in comments and people tell you suck or you should quit and stuff like that, do you honestly think, if you wanted to be a stand-up comedian, that Kevin Hart or Dave Chappelle or Eddie Murphy would say that you suck, never do it again? No, they would encourage you to keep going, work on your material, you know, put yourself out there, take a risk, take a chance on yourself. A lot of people get discouraged or never try because they're afraid of what people think of them. And it's sad because there's so much potential out there for people to just tap into, but they can't because they're scared, you know. And that's one of the downsides of social media. And for me, I was just one of the fortunate ones where I entered social media when I didn't really have anything to lose, you know, and I didn't have all these expectations of, you know, being internet famous and stuff like that. I just did what I wanted to do and I had fun doing it. And then it became its own thing, you know. So if you ever want to do content of any sort, do it, you know, do it. So that's my little 2 cents on that.
I love it, bro. I love it. So before we transition to our next segment, gotta ask you any crazy like project or movie you working on now I mean, we gotta put you on the spot. We gotta see what we got cooking up.
You good? As far as acting, bro, there's so many talented people who want to get into this business, and all I've done are background roles. So you ain't gonna see me, but my name will be in those credits. And so I don't know if you guys know the Netflix show Outer Banks.
Yeah.
So
I watched the first season. I need to catch up on that.
Yeah, I watched the first season too.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm going to say season 2 is like that. I'll be on season 3. You won't see me, but I did background stuff for that back in August in South Carolina, Charleston. Nice. And that was an incredible experience. That was my first time down in the South. Everybody was great. And that came at a time in my life when I lied on my application. Because, when you submit these applications, they be like, where are you from? Can you be here on this day? I told these motherfuckers, yo, hey, I'm from Charleston, okay? This is my zip code. Okay?
It's my city.
I'm in your city. Just let me be in this. Because Outer Banks is my favorite show. Like, I love this show. I don't know why, but I just do. So I lied on my application, and I was just fortunate enough to, get selected and just, be a pogue. So that experience happened last August. The season 3 comes out February 23rd. So we right around the corner. And hopefully, there's nothing set in stone yet as far as like my first speaking role. There's definitely conversations. I'll say that. But like I said, there's a lot of talented people who want to get into this business, and it's cutthroat, and you're going to hear a lot of no's before you hear that one yes. But that one yes is all it takes.
That one yes. That's all you need, Bolo.
That one yes is all it takes. So I'm definitely going to continue on that path, because when you're a background actor, you connect with people. That's your time to like really see what the process is like, be on a real set, talk to people, who are, vets in the game, definitely want to do more roles with that. Because again, it's just like everything else we say, you never know who's watching. You never know who's watching. And even though you're a background actor, you still play a role in that. So it's always doing your best and just giving it your best. So, but no, as far as movies, there's conversations, but nothing set in stone yet.
Let's get it. I'm with it.
It's coming soon. It's in the air now. It's in the air. We put it in the air.
Yeah.
We'll have it 2023. So, yes, sir, man. Well, let's move to our last segment of our show. These are just our quick hitters, some random kind of fun questions, and we want to hear your take on them. So,
all right.
The first question: if you had to pick one person to work on a film with, who would that be and why? Got to pick one.
One?
Yeah.
Anybody.
Who you would love to be just a part of a project with.
Ah, damn. You know what? Denzel Washington.
Easy.
Ooh, of course.
Denzel Washington, because Denzel, he's the gold standard, and I feel like you would learn a lot from him. Whether he talks to you or whether you have a conversation with him or not, you can learn a lot from him. In his preparation, the way he studies, the way he carries himself on and off set, like that's one person that we've never had to question ever.
Nice.
Like he has this work ethic that's impeccable. And I feel like Denzel is, he's the greatest actor in my opinion, he's the greatest actor of all time. No, definitely Denzel, just because of everything that you would learn from, not just because it's Denzel, but, the things and the tools that you can take away from that experience.
Jake,
100%.
Jake, you shot me in the ass.
My son?
You shot me in the ass, Jake. Okay, all right, okay.
You gonna do this to me?
He said, I'm leaving with that money, Jake.
Yeah, no, he's great.
Man. Yeah.
So obviously you make a lot of classic material, right? So you say you watch a lot of movies, so we're gonna put you on the spot. What are your top 5 favorite movies of all time?
Ooh, okay. In order?
Any order.
Any order, don't matter.
If you got them in order, cool. But if not, this is the 5.
In any order, I'll just do any order. It has to be Friday After Next. Friday After Next is the best Friday to me.
Ooh, it's debatable. But go ahead and go.
Me personally, that's at least it's my favorite. That's my favorite fighter.
Okay. I like that better.
Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins.
Ooh,
okay.
Which I can get slept on, but that's in my top 5. I'm also a big Marvel fan.
Okay.
So I would have to go to be in that theater on premiere night for Endgame was different.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna say Endgame, but I love all Marvel. And then I want to throw a little anime in there. Like I was talking to this about with my friends. Like if you can choose one animation movie to watch over and over again, what would it be? And mine was Shrek.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's
I like
a good movie.
That's
a legendary movie.
Yeah. I'm never going with Hercules. I love Hercules.
So mine was Shrek. That's 4. And then I want to throw like a romance in there because I'm a sucker for romance.
Bolo is too.
It definitely have to be. A thin line between love and hate.
Ooh.
It's a thin line.
Damn.
I think there's a lot of lessons in that movie.
A lot of lessons.
Yeah, that movie put me on game onto a lot of
great movie.
A thin line between love and hate. Yeah.
What's the biggest lesson that you learned from there? Go.
Hey, there's a lot of crazy ass women in here. All right. And if the dick too good, man, they ain't never gonna stay off your ass.
And then they gonna want you to piss on them.
Exactly.
Teresa, please.
That full circle moment right there.
But yeah, nah, man. Those movies, I love them all.
I love it, man. I love it. All right, man. We got a couple of this or that's, and we're gonna let you go. Yeah. I'm gonna get it popping. Mike Epps or Martin Lawrence?
Ooh.
Damn.
I'm from Indianapolis now. Mike Epps' hometown. That's my city.
I get that. So as far as like everything, or we just
totality.
This or that.
Totality. I'm gonna have to say Martin Lawrence. Martin Lawrence, as far as movies, his stand-ups is, I like him, but I think Mike Epps has the better stand-ups, but Martin had one of arguably the best TV show of all time.
Ooh.
And I can't discount that. I can't. And he doesn't get as much credit as he deserves. So, and me, I've always gravitated towards Martin. For some reason, he's one of my biggest inspirations. Not to say that Mike Epps isn't, but Martin, there's just
Martin's a legend. Def Comedy Jam, and he put up so many people in the 90s got put on because of Martin.
He got so much material too, man. It's just that dates back. Like,
I love Martin.
That's fair.
Martin Lawrence.
Okay. Martin. All right, so next question here. Food question. Obviously, my boy D-Nell loves food, so we got to ask you. All right.
Go ahead.
Fried chicken or burgers?
I gotta go burgers.
Ooh.
I gotta go burgers.
Does Bellevue have good burgers?
Keep it real.
We have a few good like joints. Like there's this joint called Broiler Bay, which I absolutely love because it's authentic. Everything is authentic. The fact it's not mainstream or anything like that. But I would have to go burgers. And then because with fried chicken, you really gotta throw down on that seasoning. If there ain't no lick of fucking seasoning, all right, you can fuck up on chicken. All right, just like you can fuck up on burgers, but I would have to go burgers. I eat more burgers than I eat chicken.
And burgers do have other things: ketchup, lettuce, mustard, lettuce, tomato.
You can kind of control your burger a little bit more than the chicken.
It's some more flavor stuff. Even the burger ain't seasoned right, you can still do some other things to it. Where the chicken, like you said, if it ain't seasoned right, fair. I mean, hot sauce and ranch. I mean, but he only goes so far.
He goes hot sauce and ranch.
But yeah, no, I gotta go burgers.
I ain't mad at all, my brother. Now this one, I feel like we already know your answer because you just kind of alluded to it, but I'm gonna ask you anyway.
Go ahead.
Better TV show, Martin or Jamie Foxx?
Ooh,
shit. It has to be Martin. Yeah, it has to be Martin. But Jamie Foxx is definitely up there, and he's definitely slept on. As far as that show,
most slept on show.
The Jamie Foxx show, and just Jamie Foxx in general, he is such a talent.
He does everything.
Literally. Like, me and my friend were just talking about this with Jamie Foxx. Like, he has so much talent, but you almost feel like he didn't use it to his fullest potential.
In his prime. Yeah,
damn, like he can do stand-up acting, he can sing his act, but you almost feel like he didn't use it to his fullest. Like, you really didn't see the best of him.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Like when he was in like Any Given Sunday, I feel like at that point in time, right then, is like where he should have just like went from like 0 to 100 because he was at his top of his game. He's putting out music, some Marvin Gaye, some Luther Vandross, like it was everything.
Predictable.
No, everything, and like obviously, I think he has one of the greatest performances ever in Ray. You know, the preparation and that performance overall, and just winning an Oscar off that, like that's definitely, he did that. But I just feel like we never got to see the best of him. And then the Jamie Foxx show, like there's so much creativity and so much colorfulness within, you know, just the relationships and the character development that there's a lot of things that I pull from that. And that's one show I haven't touched on, at least not yet.
Yeah.
You know, Jamie Foxx.
Well, here it is.
He's up there. He's up there.
Cool.
The Porch just inspired JJ. So if I see a Jamie Foxx clip, hey,
it came from here first.
Shout out to the Porch. All right, so last one here. We got to hit you with it. I think this is a bit of a balance. I'm curious to see what you think about it. So
it's a tough one.
Best TV show: Fresh Prince or the Wayans Brothers?
It has to be Fresh Prince. It has to, just because
it does when I think about it.
I mean, you got, and not just Will, but you have so many iconic characters, from Will to Jeffrey to Uncle Phil to Carlton. Like, these are characters that we still talk about. And again, I take it back. There's so many messages in that, you know, in that whole, you know, entire franchise. But, you know, and RIP to Uncle Phil, you know, James Avery. But and then the Wayans.
Say it. Uh-oh. Say it.
That's one show that I watched, but I could never like really get into like that.
Okay.
Where I'm like,
okay, I figured that.
Like, you know, like I can never really get into it. And I don't know why, because I think that entire family is comedy, you know. Yeah. But the Fresh Prince, you know, that's number 2. If somebody wanted to say that's number 1 as far as best TV shows in our community or ever, I wouldn't argue with that. But Fresh Prince, you know, and that had I want to say 6 or 7 seasons.
Something like that.
It was
you know, and longevity to me is important. Longevity to me at a high level is important. So they were able to do that. But Fresh Prince.
Love it. There it is,
man. There it is, man. There it is. You heard it here first, man. But my God, listen, it's been such a pleasure having you on the porch, learning about your journey, your story. This is your time, real quick, before we exit out, close out the show, to let people know where they can find you on social, you know, anything you want to promote. This is your time to do it.
Yeah, I mean, y'all can find me on Instagram, Javon Jefferson _ on TikTok. It's just Javon Jefferson. Those are my biggest platforms. Hopefully YouTube's coming soon. We'll see. YouTube is something I kind of want to save for that original skit, you know, writing my own material, you know, and having the freedom to do that. But Instagram, TikTok. And again, I'm based out of Washington State in a little city called Bellevue, Washington. But that's where you can find me, man.
Love it.
Yes, sir. And I appreciate you guys having me too. Like I know Darnell talked to Gia, and you know, so I appreciate you, you know, thinking of me. And I know Brian, I didn't know which one of you guys, like, who put who on first.
Brian Bolo, he put me on. I can't lie. He put me. He sent me your clip probably like a month or maybe longer ago. He's like, bro, we got to get him on. So I started diving your past. Oh, this guy's hilarious.
Hilarious, bro. I've been in tune for a minute. Like I said, when I seen a couple of videos, I was like, man, I gotta follow this dude, because I feel like it was just like, you know how you just scrolling and you just ended up just popping up, and I'm like, damn, like he's spot on. And I clicked on it, and then I started going through all of the classic videos, bro. I was hooked. I was like, oh yeah. He legit. He's cold.
I appreciate that, man. Any love and support, you know, I never take that for granted, you know, because, you know, you guys helped me. Y'all been along this journey with me, and, you know, that's not something I take for granted. And I'm always appreciative and grateful. And at the end of the day, I just want to entertain people. You know, I think laughing is healing. You know, you never know what people are going through. So if I can put any good into this world, even if it's in the form of a laugh, you know, I'm happy to do that.
Love it, bro. Love it, man. So it's all about. We appreciate you, my guy. Keep on growing, keep on building. We're going to keep building. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Believe, Spotify, Google Podcasts, the Porch Podcast YouTube channel. You're following us on Caffeine at the Porch Podcast. We everywhere. And we gonna keep growing and keep getting bigger. And ball up, man. How do we close out the show?
Hey, so look, real quick, y'all. You already know, look, you only as big as your environment, right? So you got to step outside the box. Control what you can control. And just make sure that the best you
is the best you. And we out. Peace.
Started on the porch, that was where it all began. Had to put in work, every day we got it in. We chased all our dreams and now they can't believe it. We make it look easy, we achieving everything we needed. Now we undefeated. If we link, no it's only business. If we get to speak and leave them speechless. I did things for free but now it costs to see me. When you see me, you ain't gotta greet me. Just don't plot to sneak me, I'ma see it. I'ma stop and watch you lose and get defeated. What do we bleed? Came from the jungle, we humble but hungry and hunting to feed. People don't want us to leave. They love us and rush to the bus when we run in the streets. Thinking we stunning the sea. We came from nothing to something, now up in the lead. Now we ain't coming in peace. Hunting for blood and to crush everyone in the league. We got a reason. We put in work every day of the week, every month, every season. So many schemes, had to go hard for the team. We gave our all and succeeded. Came from the deep end. Warming up pots, cooking ramen at times, that was all we was eating. Now we be feasting. 5-star restaurants every week. Whole team dripped in cloth and it's seamless. They looking hard when we step on the scene. Call us outcasts, we so fresh and so clean. Ain't about cash, please don't ask for a meeting. Just hit the stoop out the spaz on the beat. Nah, it ain't rude if you ask for the feet. Just play it cool when I tax you the fee. We need a pool in the back with a cord and a board to go jump off and splash for the heat. Live for the day cause the past can determine the future or where you gon' actually be. Keep staying present, our presence a blessing. It's all that we have and we actually need. I'm taking action with passion, detaching the ones who keep acting attached to leech. I am no pastor but actually preaching. Look up these lyrics and actually read. That was where it all began. Had to put in work, every day we got it in. We chased all our dreams and now they can't believe it. We make it look easy, we achieving everything